in the last year or so, I've become more and more interested in Latin America and Latin American culture and politics and history. So, and I've always been studying Spanish as well, kind of on the side. So this is my first trip to a Spanish-speaking country as well. Because each trip obviously had their nuance, and they're all in different places and had different goals. You know, one was like educational, more traditionally educational. Other one was a work experience, and this one's kind of a mix. So I think in that way it was kind of different from the other ones. Our group really came together really well. There wasn't, like in my other two experiences, there'd be times certainly when people were butting heads, and that's pretty natural. I mean, I think it's almost necessary sometimes, but here I never felt like that was even gonna happen. Everyone got along so well, and I think everyone really took up the group cause and putting others before themselves, and yeah, there was no free riding or anything like that. So I think it's really efficient. You get a sense that it was meant to be here, and that it's not. And I really think the footprint on it is quite small in terms of like ecological footprint, or there's many layers to it. The different types of power generation, and the hydroelectric, the solar, the biogester that produces fuel for cooking, and the way the agriculture has been planned in terms of the health of the soil and how to be most efficient and also provide the best food and nutrients for the people that live here. So it's very well thought out and planned, and it's evolving, because I can tell that Wade and his family really think about it a lot, and they take note of what works and continue to improve it. So there's many iterations, I think. I'd want to tell them about the conversations that I had with people, and how willing to open up certain members of the group were. And I mean, I really did, besides one or two people really, I didn't really know anyone on this trip beforehand, but within a couple days everyone was really sharing some of the most important facets of their life, and just that willingness to share and listen. Everyone was also a good listener as well as a good sharer. So I think that would be the one thing that I'd want to tell other people about. At least the way I approached the trip, I had a sense of what it was going to be like as far as the logistics and what the general plan was, and also the philosophy that we're here trying to channel, the Sarvodia philosophy, because I was able to borrow some of the literature from you. So I kind of had a general sense of all that, and then once I sort of had that, I didn't think about the trip like at all, or I tried not to, because I mean, obviously I was really busy with school and stuff like that, but I didn't want to get these preconceived notions in my head or start thinking about what it was going to be like, because I just wanted it just to happen the way it was going to happen. And something I've learned from trips like this is that as far as just benefiting the group and everything, it's just always good to be really flexible. And I think I'm a person that has a lot of self-doubt at times on certain things, because I definitely hold myself to a pretty high standard on just a variety of things, and I really want to like do well and sort of validate myself a lot, and so that's kind of a point of anxiety at times. And I think this trip kind of helped me to sort of take a step back from that and just realize that, every person is a person, and we're all precious, and life is precious. I kind of just picked that up from all the people that I was here with. But definitely the trip also, it reinforced that how important I think it is to always be curious, wanting to learn things, because you can learn so much from other people and their experiences. In this case, it was an experiential educational trip. It had cultural components. It had it fostered time for introspection. Certainly, working on a shared projects was in there, and traveling, and so it was a lot of different things. I'm not sure what it was the most, but I'm not sure if we need to say it's one of those things the most. Even a couple days before we left, I was like, oh man, like, did I make a mistake in coming here? Like, maybe this won't be all it's cracked up to be, or, you know, I hope the money was well spent, you know, stuff like that. And I'm glad those thoughts quickly faded away and haven't come back, because yeah, it was definitely worth it, and you'll get out of it what you put into it, like most things. I would just say, if you think you want to come on something like this, you should do it. Even if you've done something like it before, like, I felt, you know, coming in, I felt like I was pretty seasoned to this kind of thing, but it's still always worth it. It's always worth it to do something like this. At least for me, it has been. So even though I wasn't worried about, you know, the accommodations, or I wasn't worried about the food, or wasn't worried about the cultural shock or anything like that might deter someone else, it was still totally a novel thing, and I think it was really important. I think it will be really informative for me in the near future and long term as well.